Hello everyone, it's Pat at Beads and Plenty More, and today I'm going to show you how to make a bracelet like this with the 8mm glass pearls and size 6 seed beads. So we have a pattern that goes with both of them, and then I've put them onto a magnetic clasp. So this is what is so handy, a magnetic clasp to open and close. So in this one I'm going to do today, I'm going to use white pearls and crystal silver lined seed beads. So the pattern goes, I've hooked my needle onto my 6-pound flower line, and I'm going to just leave it hooked onto the fire line so that I have lots of length and I can work against the spool. So start with a single crystal silver lined size 6, and then I'm going to do 3 pearls. Okay, and then we pick up one of the size 6 beads and then the 3 pearls again. So I continue with this design until I get enough length, and then we're going to come back and do the loops to add the decoration to this pattern. So we'll go ahead and thread all these on first. So what we're doing is 3 8mm glass pearls and 1 size 6 silver lined seed bead. So that's what it's going to look like. I do like working with the glass pearls. They're all perfectly even, and they have a nice gleam to them, just a nice finish that gives a nice look for either every day or can be dressy as well. Okay, so I'm going to stop and finish getting all the length done, and then I'll come back and show you how I made the loops. Okay, so I have enough length of my 1 and 3 pattern, and now I'm going to attach the magnetic clasp. First of all, I've allowed enough length on my fire line for about 1.5 times the length of my bracelet that I'm going to work back with my loops. So with the magnetic clasp, we're going to just hook through, do 2 or 3 loops through to make sure that we have a nice firm attachment to the clasp. Bring it up, and 1 more. I like to do 3. Okay, so there's the clasp attached to that end. Now I'm going to start by making my loops. So they started from the one right out at the clasp, and we did a loop going into the middle of the 3 glass beads. So I pick up 3 seed beads and go into the middle of the 3 seed beads. Pull that up, and then we'll do 3 and go into the seed bead that's in between the units. I've got a lot of looseness here because I've got the it's attached to the spool at the other end, so I'm going to put a clamp on the end here so that it doesn't allow too much looseness as I'm working, otherwise I'll have to draw up all the threads at the end. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and into the middle. Nice easy design that looks really sharp. 3, and then we'll go into the seed bead with this loop. The middle one. Caught my clamp. So it makes a very pretty bracelet. Into the seed bead. So that's how I'm going to go all the way to the end, and then I'm going to come back and show you how I'm going to attach the clasp and what we're going to do next. Now we have the full length done, and I've cut away the attachment to the spool of fireline, and I'm going to take these two pieces and tie them together, the end that came off the fireline and the piece that came through all the beads. So we'll tie that nice and snug. I curved the bracelet because that's always a good idea with bracelets, because we don't want them to be so stiff that they stick out straight. We want them to be curved. So this little short piece that I've cut off the fireline spool, I'm going to feed into the beads, but I'm also going to now attach the other side of the clasp to this end. We've got the clasp sitting at this end, so we'll do the same thing as the first side, where we go through the clasp and bring it up nice and tight, and I'll go through 3 times with my fireline. 2 and a 3rd time. The needle and the magnet like to stick together, so it's always a little challenge to keep them from grabbing one another. So that once we get that done, then I'm going to go back through the entire bracelet with my needle to tighten up and to provide more stability, because the beads had only had 1 layer of thread through them. And it also tightens up any gaps of thread that you might see, which I'm seeing one here. So as we go through, we can get rid of that gap. So I'll trace back my pattern of stitching all the way through to the other side. And for some reinforcement, I'm going to do a slip knot in between some of these beads, which would be good right about here. So a slip knot, you go through like that, leave your loop, put your needle through the loop, and then bring it up right tight there. So that puts an end to the thread in case we need to have it break somewhere. Not need to, but it does happen. Hopefully it doesn't. So I'll continue to thread all the way to the other end, and then I'll end with some more of those slip knots that I was showing there. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy making a bracelet like this. It's not too difficult, and it's really quite pretty.